Spring break and summer trips are coming, and for a lot of us, it means a road trip, which means hours in the car with your favorite people, rammed in with snacks, luggage, and someone who ate too many beans last night. Yeah. But here's the thing, AI can actually make this so much better. Today, I'm going to show you how I use Google Gemini to plan smarter stops, survive the long stretches, and turn the destination into an adventure. Let's get into it. My name is Ty, and just like you, life is busy. You're juggling a lot of things, and I know the feeling with a child in high school, middle school, and elementary school. But there are ways that AI can help, and I'm here to share them with you in AI Toolkit for Parents. Road trips are one of those things that sound amazing in theory and get complicated. The food stops take forever, the kids check out somewhere around hour two, and by the time you get there, you're too tired to fully enjoy it. So today, we're building a better road trip using one tool, Google Gemini. I'm going to walk you through 3 ways I use it: before the trip, during the trip, and at the destination. And honestly, once you try these, you're not going back. Okay, so the first thing I always dread about a road trip, food. Hangry is real. Because it's not just about food, it's gluten-free for the adults, something the kids will actually eat, and ideally, somewhere we can stretch our legs. Traditional fast food stops just let you down. So here's what I do instead. Before we leave, I ask Gemini, I have a trip planned ahead of me from Charlotte to Orlando in mid-March. We usually leave at about 10 a.m. Help me find a place to stop for lunch around 12 to 1 p.m. and for dinner around 5 or 6 p.m. I'd like to pick up some food that is gluten-free for the adults and fun for the kids, and then head to a park to eat and get some energy out. Find places with online ordering and easy pickup. And look at what this gives us. So, because of Google integration with Google Maps, we have our map on the side where we can see all the spots along our route. And we can see here, it gives us a stop, lets us know, hey, this is good, why it will help from our gluten-free and kid-friendly options, and a nearby park to that restaurant. So we can grab our food, go to the park, eat, or as my 10-year-old likes to shovel a couple bites in and then run. You should do that as well. And also for our dinner stop, similar, we got a restaurant and a park for us to go there as well. Wonderful. All that research that Google was able to do for us along the route to give us something better to eat and someplace great to play. Food is taken care of, but FOMO is real. You know, as you're driving through all of these towns, there's something cool right off the exit. Quirky roadside attraction, a cool nature spot, something your kids would love. But by the time you think about it, you've already passed it. So I just add one follow-up prompt in our same route conversation. Can you give me interesting stops within 15 minutes of the main route that my family of 5 might enjoy? Include approximate costs. Gemini's going to look through all the different things it could find and provide some suggestions for us. And we can see on the map here where those are. And with the Riverbank Zoo, well, you know, it's because of Gemini's integration with Google Maps. You can click on these particular locations and see photos, directions, website, reviews, things that people are talking about, all right there, and open it up in Google Maps if you choose to go there. There are, for any of these other locations, you can also click on them and get the same, see the website, directions, photos, and reviews. Now, these are museums. I got a quirky roadside attraction, Air Force Museum, Children's Museum. These are great. But as a follow-up, my daughter loves turtles. Are there any stops that would fit that? So let's add this. My 10-year-old daughter loves turtles. Are there any stops that include that? So let's go ahead and ask Gemini. So it's going to think about it. So it's going to pair this love of turtles with our earlier conversation about the route we're on and about the time we're going to be in these different locations. And look at this. We have the zoo again, and it has turtle highlights. The state museum that we also had, these could also have some things around turtles. But as we go down to the Georgia coast, there's the Georgia Sea Turtle Center. Uh, wow, that's great, and these other pieces. So we get to hone in on the things our children like in these stops as well. Now let's transition to being on the road, and we've all been there. You're 2 hours in, the kids are zoned out. Someone says, "Are we there yet for the 15th time?" This is where Gemini becomes your secret weapon. The setup is simple. Connect your phone to your car's Bluetooth so everyone can hear it. Open up your Gemini app, and there in the bottom right, you'll see 3 vertical lines with a star. That's Gemini Live. It allows us to use just our voices for this storytelling tool. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start this now and mimic this process. So let's play a yes and storytelling game. We are going on a fictional expedition to a secret valley in Georgia where dinosaurs still live. Start the first 2 sentences and then let one of us add to it. Talk like a rugged 1880s mountain explorer. Every time you hear the end, do not end the story, and instead add a new twist. Do not end the story on your own.
Well now, gather round and listen close, for I've discovered a pass through the treacherous Georgia mountains leading to a hidden valley time forgot. Yes, and deep within that secluded realm, colossal creatures not seen by modern eye roam the primeval landscape. What say you, partner? Shall we venture into the unknown?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Ah, that's the spirit. And yes, we embarked on the arduous journey, hacking through thickets that tore at our very clothes and traversed swollen rivers that threatened to sweep us away, the end of it being just over the next ridge. Yes, and as we crested that final ridge, a colossal pterosaur darkened the sky, casting a shadow so vast it chilled our bones.
The dinosaur reached down and stole our gluten-free pizza right out of our bag.
That confounded creature, yes, and its colossal beak snatched the provisions with surprising speed, leaving us with naught but the dust and disappointment, the end of having that particular meal. Yes, and just as we lamented our lost grub, a mighty roar echoed from the jungle, announcing the arrival of an even greater beast.
Oh no, it's a T-Rex and it sees us.
Aye, a Tyrannosaurus Rex towering like a mountain made of muscle and teeth. Yes, and as it bellowed, the very ground shook, causing the dense foliage to tremble and reveal a previously unseen path deeper into the valley, the end of our current predicament, potentially through that passage.
Throw a huge wad of bubblegum on the path to stop that T-Rex.
A colossal wad of bubblegum, you say? Yes, and in a moment of sheer desperation, I hurled the sticky mass directly before the thunderous pause, the end of its unimpeded pursuit brought to a halt. Yes, and the beast thrashed and roared as its massive feet became hopelessly entangled, buying us a precious moment of escape.
On the way, I see strawberries and pick them.
Aye, and as we fled through the dense flora, I spied wild strawberries, plump and bursting with sweet promise. Yes, and I gathered a handful, the end of our scavenging providing a much-needed burst of energy and a brief moment of respite before the next challenge, and the path grew treacherous once again.
There's a river in front of us and no way across.
Shucks, a ragin' river obstructs our path, the water churnin' and treacherous. Yes, and just as we despair started to set in, I spied a cluster of massive, buoyant prehistoric plants, the end of our predicament potentially in their broad leaves. Yes, and we could find them together to fashion a makeshift raft.
Do it. We make a hot air balloon out of them.
A hot air balloon. By Jove, that's an audacious thought. Yes, and we meticulously constructed it, using giant leaves and whatever vines we could find, the result being a sight to behold. Yes, and with a bit of ingenuity and some heated air, we defied gravity and floated above the perilous river.
The sun sets as we soar across the valley.
The sky was ablaze with crimson and orange, a spectacle grand beyond words. Yes, and as we soared, we spied a shimmering waterfall cascading from a hidden peak, the end of our present aerial journey drawing closer. Yes, and below, strange creatures moved among giant ferns, utterly unaware of our passing.
And how great was that? Few curveballs thrown in just like my children would. Now, this is great. Your kids get to hear a wonderful story. They're engaged. They can see what curveballs and how the AI will react. And it rolls with every one of those suggestions. Now, this approach, you can do it with any story. Rinse and repeat. Endless fun. Remember earlier when we were mapping out fun stops along the route? This is one that came up for our Charlotte to Orlando trip. Riverbank Zoo in Columbia, South Carolina. So let's say we've decided to stop there. Instead of just showing up and wandering around, though, let's build a little anticipation in the car before we get there. So let's ask Gemini. We're stopping at the Riverbank Zoo in Columbia, South Carolina. Give me 5 surprising facts about the zoo that would get my 10, 13, and 15-year-olds excited before we walk in. Now it's going to give us an answer here about the zoo, the lemur that thinks he's a superhero, the queen bee of giraffes, the world's loudest tortoises. My daughter who loves turtles is going to find that amazing. Tiger whisperers and car wash legends. Wow, we have some fun things here. And now the kids are curious before you even pull into the parking lot. Your teenager who's pretending not to care, they're engaged, and that's a win. And then once you're inside, this is where it gets really fun. Ask Gemini to build a scavenger hunt on the spot. We're at Riverbank Zoo in Columbia, South Carolina. Create a 5-item scavenger hunt for my 10, 13, and 15-year-olds. Make the items different difficulty levels for each of the kids. How awesome is this? So it's going to go through, find resources information, and then build it out. So now instead of the older kids feeling like the zoo is too young for them, everyone has their own challenge. They're moving, they're competing a little, and they're actually engaging with the exhibits instead of just walking past them. So we got things like the master of disguise, looking for the Siberian tiger. Different pieces here and see if they can spot the different ones. We can walk through this. And here's the thing. This works anywhere you stop. A state park, a science museum, historic downtown. Wherever you end up, AI can turn it into a game in about 30 seconds. Win. So there you have it. 3 ways to use Gemini to make your next road trip much more fun. Plan your stops before you leave, keep the kids engaged on the drive, and turn wherever you end up into an interactive adventure. The thing I love about all of these is they're not complicated. You don't need to be a tech person. Just try, and you'll be amazed at where the journey takes you. If this was helpful, I'd love to know. Drop a comment telling me where your next road trip is taking you. I'm Ty, and this is AI Toolkit for Parents. What will you build today?